the playoffs, and the winner will look to add to their already impressive resume with another Super Bowl appearance. So, Shannon, who's under more pressure to win this Sunday on Fox, Brady or Rodgers?
Skipper, there is no right or wrong answer with this. That's why I believe it goes 50-50, because Aaron Rodgers says the reason I believe that I haven't made it to more Super Bowls, Skip, is that I've been unable to have a home field NFC Championship game. I've had to go on the road. All the times I've gone, had an opportunity to get to the Super Bowl, I had to go through Chicago, I had to go through Atlanta, I had to go through Seattle, I had to go through San Francisco. I finally got what I actually wanted. I wanted to be able, now it's not with 80,000, but he's going to get the weather that he wanted with about 75,000 fewer fans. Okay, but you're at home. You said you wanted Lambeau. Yeah, you wanted it, but you wanted it more so for the weather. Because in Atlanta, you on fast turf, you get no advantage. Your advantage is being in Lambeau, Skip, that it's going to be 10 degrees or it's going to be 15 degrees. That's your advantage. He says, I've never had that. Tom Brady is under immense amount of pressure because, Skip, it's not good enough to get to the NFC Championship game. He left to say, I can get to and win a Super Bowl without Coach Belichick. If he doesn't get to the Super Bowl, what has he done? All he did was play 2 extra weeks, 3 extra weeks longer than Coach Belichick. That's the way it works in football and pro sports. If you don't win the prize, and what I tell guys, if you don't win the championship, all you did was practice an extra week longer than I did. I ended at the end of the season, you lost in the wild card, or you lost in the division, or you lost the NFC Championship game. And if you don't win the Super Bowl, you practice the extra month. For what? So I believe they're under equal amounts of pressure because Tom Brady wanted this. He didn't necessarily want to leave. He was kind of forced out, but he also knew, and I can't get number 7. I can't get possibly number 8 with this roster. So let me go somewhere they got a roster that I believe I can, because I still believe I can compete. He believes he can still compete at a very high level. Now let me go find somebody with some talent to see, I will see if I'm still the Tom Brady that I was from the last 3-4 years. Aaron Rodgers is at Lambeau. He's at home. You told me it's going to be 20 degrees with some possible snow flurries. Skip, the pressure is on both because both would be a huge disappointment. Because right now everybody's saying Brady has the upper hand on Belichick because Belichick didn't make the playoffs and Tom Brady's in the NFC Championship game. But if he does not win, what did he actually do? Because that's how he's measured. We don't talk about all the NFC Championship games that Tom Brady went through. We talk about what is, Skip, them bowls and how many of those he's 6 up, 3 down. So you take away the 580 passing touchdowns. You take away the 70,000 yards. Even with the 6 Super Bowls, you believe he would still be the GOAT if he didn't have 70,000 passing yards, if he didn't have 500-plus touchdowns, because you said championships is the ultimate barometer of how we judge our players.
And how he won all 6 championships. Okay. I'm sorry. I see this completely upside down from the way you just laid it out. To me, there's only one answer here, and it's the answer, and it's that Aaron Rodgers has 10 times the pressure on him than Brady does this Sunday at Lambeau Field. To your point, this is all Aaron has ever wanted. It took him longer to get here than it's taken any quarterback in history to get to a home championship game.
Correct.
No one's played as many games before getting to a home championship game, NFC or AFC, than Aaron has this Sunday. It's all he's ever talked about. I want the cold. I want Lambeau. Right. I want our fans. He's going to get a sprinkling of the fans. I don't know. What did it look like?
They say 6,500.
Okay. It felt like they had 20,000 in there. It felt loud against the Rams. But whatever. You don't have quite full throttle fans like you'd want, but you got the audio turned up. It's still going to be pretty close to a Lambeau effect. And he has talked the last 2 weeks of, I've never felt healthier at this time of year.
Yes.
He was sacked so little, except for the game at Tampa. He took so little punishment that he said, I'm fresher at this point in the season than I have ever been. He recommitted to his offseason workouts. He sort of went Brady-esque in the offseason, and he tried to get back in the kind of shape that would endure through the whole year. Because I think when he got to the championship game at San Francisco last year, he just didn't feel right. He felt beat all to hell. Okay, and he threw 2 interceptions, and he lost a fumble. Okay, so Davante Adams has been talking and talking, given his Lambeau theory about how for visiting teams, it's just so hard to win at Lambeau at this time of year because he said you can't even talk the same because, as you know, it's so cold your lips don't work and the words don't come out quite right. It's like your lips don't keep up with your brain as trying to get the words out.
You're so cold.
Yeah, right. It's like you're watching a movie where the sound's off the mouth.
Right.
You know, like the sound won't quite come out as you want it to come out on time. And to Davante's point, it can be just overwhelming for the visiting team because it's shell shock, and you can't ever, so to speak, warm up to just how cold it is for 4 quarters.
You really can't, Skip. I remember playing the games and it's really cold, and the coach would grab me and say, hey, I want to talk to you about something. I said, can we have this conversation on the bench?
Yeah.
I need to be able to holler. You by the heater, yeah. You talking over here, let's get over there. We talking as long as you want to.
I got it. Okay, so it's been 10 years since Aaron's played in a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You've made the case he's the greatest quarterback ever. Well, obviously, he now has a chance that very few quarterbacks have. It's like, what if LeBron could play, 1 game for the championship against Jordan? Well, it would be great for LeBron because he could say, watch this, watch what I can do.
But here's the thing, though. We believe that the greatest the guy the GOAT, he's like Aaron Rodgers. He's about to have his 3rd MVP, the touchdown, the interception, and the quarterback, the passer ratings have been a long time high. Brady also gets to say, okay, y'all say this guy's the GOAT. I went to his backyard and beat him.
Okay, I agree.
We're done.
Okay, I got it. But they are underdogs. What is it, 4 points?
I think it's 3.5. It's up to 4.5?
I don't know. Is it 3.5? Maybe.
I think it over at 3.5.
Okay, 3.5, somewhere in that range. Okay, so they are, obviously, Brady's an underdog on the road. I think most people will think that Aaron should win this game. And remember, Tom Brady just transformed a 7-9 team, once known as the Succaneers, into an NFC Championship game on the fly with no offseason and no preseason. No preseason. They didn't play 1 preseason game, and he brought them to a boil just in time for December, and they had a December to remember, and then they won at Washington, and then obviously they had to turn around and go win against their arch-rival nemesis, the team that had his number, and they beat that team at New Orleans. Well, that's an achievement. That's such an accomplishment that who thought they'd ever get this far? So to me, this is gravy for Tom Brady. This is a gravy game.
No, Skip. But he left New England for a reason. This is the only way that we're going to be able to determine who should get the credit.
Okay, but he already determined it.
How?
He won 2 playoff games with the Succaneers.
That's not what Tom Brady's measured. We don't measure Tom Brady by playoffs. We measure him by Super Bowls.
Okay, but he's 43, and he, at 43, said, I'm going to go down there and take that sorry team that's talented, but sorry, 7-9, led the league in turnovers and penalties, and I'm going to turn them around. And I'll do it on the fly through the year, and we're going to get it to 6-2 and say, oh, let's go get Antonio Brown, try to weave him into the mix, blend him in. And then we're going to try to figure it out with Gronk and LaShawn McCoy and Leonard Fournette, and we'll keep adding veterans to the mix of all young players. Think about how many players had never played 1 playoff game. A majority of the team has no playoff experience, and they just won 2 playoff games? Well, who thought they would get this far except me? Who out there? Who predicted NFC Championship game for Brady?
Here's the thing. This is a Kobe and Shaq situation. Kobe wanted to prove that he wasn't riding shotgun. I can win a title without the big fella.
Did Kobe leave?
No.
He stayed.
But I'm saying...
Was Phil still there?
No, but my thing is, Tom wants to prove that I can win a title without Coach Belichick. If he does not win a title without Coach Belichick, what has he accomplished by leaving?
I'm going to remind you, he ain't done yet.
But that's what I'm saying.
Like, this is... They took a giant step.
Yes.
And if they lose... We'll have to see how it plays out. But if they, let's just say, for sake of argument, they lose a close game.
Right.
Well, we got to the threshold.
Right.
Now we got to keep adding a couple
I would pick
pieces.
them next year.
Yeah? Huh?
I would pick them next year.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Okay?
but that's what I'm saying, Skip. Once you reach a certain level, a playoff game, a playoff win here or there does not suffice. It's not satisfying. When you're that guy, see, that guy.
Okay, I got it. But for once, he's in a huge game. How many championship games? Let's see, he's played
14 now.
14. Okay, I'm trying to think back. Do you figure he's been the favorite in all 14? I'm going to guess yes. Maybe
no,
not.
the two,
maybe
the two
not
in Denver, he wasn't the favorite. And the one,
Are you sure?
Yeah, the one.
It might have been close.
And the one he lost in, Indy, he wasn't the favorite. I think he was a couple. He was, he's been to 14. So okay, 11 times. But you wanted it more so for the weather, because in Atlanta, you on fast turf, you get no advantage. Your advantage is being in Lambeau, Skippy, that it's going to be 10 degrees or it's going to be 15 degrees. That's your advantage. He says, I've never had that. Tom Brady is under immense amount of pressure because, Skip, it's not good enough to get to the NFC Championship game. He left to say, I can get to and win a Super Bowl without Coach Belichick. If he doesn't get to the Super Bowl, what has he done?